Okay, so we're going to do a top-down analysis, start the week off. I know AB's already done his. Pretty much agree with everything he's saying. I'm just going to find a little bit of probably just a slight different setups than him, but pretty much everything he saw that I looked at, I agreed at. But starting on the dollar, on the weekly, we're still kind of pushing up and we're actually starting to break these highs. Now I'm going to extend this out because you can see this pattern, this rising wedge type pattern. That could still end up coming all the way up here. So we can go to the daily, and you know, it did look a little bit better with these connected here. So I'm going to keep that, but it still looks like it could make its way all the way up here. So, I mean, it's just been making higher highs and higher lows on the lower time frame, and then it just looks like it just broke this high, barely. So, you know, maybe some consolidation and then probably another push up into this. But at this point, after we get the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up there, I would definitely be looking for some kind of reversal back down. So for my momentum on the 4-hour, it is a little bit diverged, right? So this is coming down at a slight angle while price action is, you know, making those higher highs still. So that is kind of giving me a warning sign that this might not continue up. Maybe one more push, right? But other than that, it's on a pretty clear, you know, it's kind of uptrend right here. So let me see on the 1 hour. See what we're looking at on the 1 hour. I mean, yeah, the momentum right just recently with this move that we had right there, the momentum was diverging for a while and then it just snapped out. So we're probably going to get a continuation type move if price comes back into these levels. You can see how this was like where the MACD levels were. So if it can come back down into this, I think we'll probably get another push up. Just because no market structure has been broken. It's a pretty clean level. You can just simply draw it out right here. A lot of buyers came in on this hour. So there must have been a lot of orders sitting right here to make the market move up like this. So if it can come back into this, I'm going to make this a more of a demand area. If it can come back into this, I'd expect a move like that. Especially not like that. I don't think it would follow this trend line. You know, I'm not big on trend lines anyway. I don't think it would kind of follow this little trend that it's going in. I'm just kind of looking more at the structure. So I'm expecting this and then a move up. Probably it could, you know, I don't know how high it's going to go, but I think it's going to continue to move up from here. Not enough divergence on the 1 hour yet. Now, if it just doesn't pull back at all, and it just keeps going up and up and up and up with no pullback, that's going to be the sign for the divergence. So let's just clear whatever we got from last week and look at this week. So last week's candle gave a doji right in this area where there has been some buyers coming. We still have this area down here that hasn't gotten touched. And it's kind of like some equal low area for some liquidity down here. So the question is basically, are we going to get down there to sweep this out before we go up again? Or how low are we going to go, right? Are we going to come all the way back and revisit this area of demand? Which I might as well just draw this little area down here. But it's not even going to get anywhere close to that this week. The real question is basically, are we going to get all the way down into these lows? So if the dollar does do this, kind of pull back and then make another move up, then this right here is probably going to do the same or do the opposite, pull up a little and then reverse down into these lows. And I'm going to make it a horizontal line so we can see the price. Okay, 1.1612 is more than likely going to get hit. Now on the 4-hour, we're seeing some good divergence. I mean, I do think this is going to turn around eventually, like more longer term. There is some signs of that. You see on the MACD how we're getting this type of divergence set right here as the market is making lower lows. You know, lower low, lower low, lower low. And the momentum hasn't done that yet. So we do have kind of this like falling wedge pattern, but I think there needs to be a take of this liquidity. This right here needs to get taken. And then it's already so close to taking this. I have a feeling that we're going to see it fall all the way back down there. So I'm going to kind of wait on trying to play that move unless the dollar like sets up really perfectly. But the dollar and EU aren't correlating as much as they usually do. You can see the dollar kind of already broke this recent high. I mean, barely, but it did. And EU did not break below that recent low. So they're not correlating as perfectly as I want them to, so I'm just going to be patient. Okay, GU did a big move. Let's look at this. Finally starting to maybe break out to the downside after this correction up here. So you can see on the weekly, let's just draw the zones. This was a strong zone. There was a fake out 1 week and then a fake out another week. But now it looks like we're really coming down through here. So I'm just going to put another weekly zone right here where it struggled. And then it finally broke, retested, and went up. So those are going to be like my zones I look at for GU really. And it's kind of messy, right? So what I'm going to look at here, these lows just got demolished. Let's see the 4-hour, what that look like. 4-hour big momentum spike. So yeah, most likely the pullback and then the move to the downside should be the wave. I'm gonna look at the 1-hour real quick. Yeah, huge momentum spike on the 1-hour. That's what I'm going to be playing. I highly even doubt it gives the correction that I want. Okay, I want like whatever lines up with this up here pretty much, which is the 78.6. So yeah, I want it to kind of come up a little higher into this area where there's some volume and then drop out, but I doubt that happens. That's definitely what I'm looking at after this level got smashed. Lower lows to come. Now, the only thing that would kind of make me feel like that might not play out is if it recovers just like all of these did. See these type of like recoveries, they have like this like weird W bottom and then they push up super fast. So I need to see something to be more confident. I mean, it still might take the trade, but to be more confident with the trade, I need to see the market kind of push up, kind of correct, and then push up again. Or I need to see it take a long time to get up here and then fall. So if it just does something like this, it might be a fake move, and we could maybe look for something like that. So I'll keep that on. I'll be watching for GU. Looks like a pretty good setup. All right, AU is looking a little choppy at this point. Let's go ahead, even though I'm going to go on to higher time frame real quick. Just mark this zone off. It's just so obvious. This one up here doesn't want to break, so it's kind of sideways right now. Make it small so we don't say supply. And we're good. All right, let's go to the weekly first. What's going on in the weekly? Okay, it came into this bullish candle, and it hasn't wanted to necessarily go much lower. It looks like the past 2 weeks. It's definitely a spot down here where I could see it trying to get to. Let's look at this. But on a daily perspective, we're in a perfect swing zone. So swing traders right now are almost all of them are probably looking for this to go long, back up into this area or this area. And I don't disagree with him, but for now, it's kind of ugly. So in fact, I'm going to keep this back on the chart. And I'm going to go down to the 4 hour. And how I'm personally going to play this swing type move is I'm going to wait to see one of two patterns. I'm going to wait because there's liquidity sitting right here, right? I'm going to wait for this to come dip down and grab this, and then make a sharp move up. If it does this, then I'm going to have a good indication that the market should continue to the upside. So I'll get in on one of these pullbacks and have a good risk to reward to be able to take it all the way up there. Or I'm going to simply just wait for these highs to get broken and then come back and retest it, and I'll get in on something like that. So I'm being patient on AU. I think the most recent price action looks like it could even, come back up into here and drop again. So I'm really waiting for this to break out or this to fake out and then come back into the range. Because right now it kind of has a little classic flag look to it, with the liquidity getting taken right here and then slamming through. I wouldn't be surprised if it comes right back into that and then sells off. But that's not the play I want. It's too rangy. I'm find something more trendy. All right, UCHF, I'm still going to keep this here just because it's what I'm seeing on kind of higher time frames. Okay, so first things first, it did make this move from here to here. It hit the 61.8, 78.6 zone. It started to push up. So it made that big push up. It came back into the 61.8, 78.6. It started to push up again. After that, it impulsed out. Came into the 61, it moved up. So we have the last impulsive move it made, fibbed, and it's rejected off the 61.8. I'm not sure if it's going to reach this mark. I'm going to keep it there because if it does make one more move down, this is going to be the area that I'm looking to buy it at. But for now, this looks bullish. It's kind of corrective bullish, so it's not something I want to get into yet. But if it starts to kind of, make newer highs right now, in fact, the momentum is making like kind of divergent patterns. So this could snap down, and I don't necessarily know if I want to trade the snap down to this area. But if it does kind of give a hard move down, breaking this like little momentum trend we got going down, it could be an opportunity to catch it to the downside like that. because it's, I mean, it did have some nice bearish pressure down here. Now it's kind of flagging out. So we could see a move down here that I mean, it could continue down further, but this is just a setup that I'm going to keep on for the week to see what happens and where this thing goes. I'm getting out more like that because I don't see anything else with it. UJ last week made a big move to the upside. So it's only natural. I mean, it's already starting to do it again. So, I mean, just a big move on this demand area that I had marked out. Actually, this was a setup last week before the move I was looking for. And it didn't quite give me the retest. I was looking for a retest down here. Didn't quite give me that before it made that big move up. Done. Well, now it's in an area where there has been some supply. So that's no doubt. In fact, we could probably bring this all the way over here and get a lot. So I wouldn't buy into it now, especially. It's made a pretty, almost like parabolic move to the upside. So do I see any divergence? No. A little bit here, but not much. I mean, it was pretty flat. And this was really straight up, but I honestly wouldn't even try to mess with the sells on this either, and until it like really breaks down. I mean, if it can really break this trend line big time, I would even wait for it to like break this structure, then maybe play the pullback. But sometimes when the market's trending this much, the first pullback it's just a pullback to make it go higher. So I mean, this would be the play I'm gonna look for, but just know that it's kind of risky based off of how hard this market's trending. But I'd be looking to take it back into the middle of the range, basically, somewhere around there, or the extension of this, right? Okay, EG pop. Let's go to the weekly, and I'll just keep these levels because these are just weekly lines, weekly levels. And it looks like it's finally doing what we want it to do, making its way to the upside. Yeah, it just broke through this supply area with a big candle. So even though it has been ranging a lot, here's like the top of that range. Here's the top of this range. If we can get a position to get back up here, that would be great. And that's such a big move. Who knows if it'll retrace this? But I do remember last week I spoke about this area right here, and I'll speak about it again real quick. These lows were manipulated by this candle here. You see how it went down really fast, took out these lows, and then made a new high. Basically broke this market structure. I had it highlighted when we were up here, and I was saying, I have a feeling the market's going to come back into this. And it came back into this and then took off. So I just wasn't paying attention to that last week. I didn't have any alerts set. But this definitely looks like something you can fib. And I doubt it comes all the way back into these levels. I really highly doubt it. But if it does, the extensions line up good with the highs up here. So what it's most likely going to do, since it moved so fast, it's already started to coil up. You can see it just expanded. Now it's coiling. It's probably going to give another push and then another push. And at that point, I'll probably look to short it for a scalp. But when it moves like this, it doesn't usually just retrace perfectly. It's going to start to move higher without letting you get in yet. GJ did the opposite. So last week, GJ kind of went up and down. I'll just redraw this demand area real quick. Okay. All right. So it hasn't been able to break through the bottom of this. And the past couple weeks haven't really been able to break through the top of this. So we just made a nice bearish candle. I believe we came into the very top of the fibs and then just made a big move down. So for me, I mean, since it's ranging and it kind of came up to the top of the range, I'm going to expect this to at least make its way down to the bottom. And it looks like a really nice opportunity with the impulse down. To really see the impulse on the 1 hour. We haven't had this big of an impulse down in a long time. So we should get a correction to the downside after it again. And it lines up with the fibs, the area where I want it to stop at. So if this can get up into this area, it's definitely going to be a good looking sell. And, you know, really the 61.8 is lining up good with structure. It might be one to not try to wait for the best 78.6. Here's the difference between a 61.8 and 78.6. Okay, that's a 3-to-1. If you wait, that's a 6-to-1. So sometimes it's worth waiting, but then you miss out. This one looks like it's good to go. And my mouse just died on me. Oh well. Yeah, I really like this GJ setup too. Okay, EG is perfect. I've been calling this one out with Abdul. I'll just throw it in over it. So on the higher time frame, we kind of have this big move down correction. And then we have this big candle breakdown that broke the lows of these candles. And it retraced, and now it looks like we're coming down again. So it looks like this little flag pattern could start to be forming to the downside. And here's on the daily where you can see that clear break of structure. So the fibs come out, and it touches the 61.8 perfectly, and it falls off of that. So after the big fall of the 61.8, which was right here, there was another 61.8 touch, and I believe price just finished off that extension now. Yes, it did. So at this point, we're looking for another correction and then another move to the downside. Now, it could get a little volatile and it could come all the way up into these levels before making another move down. But I'm going to be watching GA this week for a move down. It could be as simple as this, and it comes right into the 61.8 and falls. But I'm going to be watching GA closely, trying not to get wicked out of something stupid, because GA likes to do that. If it goes any lower without retracing, it might be a good opportunity to buy it. EA. Let's see, we got to click on EA. Weekly. Let's delete this. Okay. Last week it didn't know what to do, but it's got the same type of formation as GA. Kind of had this big momentum drop. This one didn't break the lows, so this zone never completely broke here. But then we have this type of correction there, and we've been falling. But yesterday was a bullish candle, so I don't know if I want to look to sell it. I'll probably keep this off the list. In fact, this does look like a good bullish opportunity. These lows were broken here by this manipulation and then a quick move up. So this will be, for me, something I look to buy because I mean, I see the cleared little correction. It's just kind of corrective more than anything. It's not even like it's trimming hard. But to me, this looks like a change in bullish momentum. So I'm looking for something down here. Gold. I was almost spot on with gold with the money spot that I put it where I thought it was going to project at last week. Okay, so let's go to the weekly real quick and see what we got. Last week looked like we had a big down week. Just was a all right, came really high and it rejected and then it fell. So to me, it looks like gold is going to keep going to the downside. Here's a level that hasn't been broken in a long time, 1677. So it's not that far away. I think we are going to end up getting there. Right now, it looks like it's far away, but in a couple weeks, it probably won't. So 4 hour, I'm still looking at this to, continue to the downside. There is some bullish divergence, so kind of want to maybe stay away from it. Market's making lower lows while the momentum is pointing to the upside a little bit. So there might be somewhat of a correction first, but then when it starts to break, I think it's going to break down pretty good again. Right now, it's just kind of going sideways. It did kind of break this level right here and it didn't retest. Same with kind of up here. I guess it retested there, but I'm just going to keep this trend line that I got and kind of keep my eye on it. I don't really see any trades for it right now. Okay, the VIX is pretty much did exactly what I said last week. It popped and then it came back all the way down. Now it has popped again. And so it's the same thing like I said last week. This is the top of the VIX, and we're going to see the indices start rising for the rest of the week, or this thing is really about to take off. And by the way that this candle formed, I think it has potential to keep going. I think we're going to have one more push to the upside. So with that being said, we should see the indices drop. Oh, wow. Yeah, so the indices, they're not looking good. All right, that's a big candle already to kind of get the week started. It's a pretty strong zone right there for the NASDAQ. Kind of just all this right here. And it looks like it's just trying to smash straight through it. So I think it's safe to play pullback drops. This thing doesn't look like it's going to stop. Same with right here. This was beautiful though. Last week I called the bottom of the. Well, I called it when it was right here, but this fib ended up hitting extension perfectly. But yeah, now we're just getting this rollover momentum. So I'm thinking pullbacks are good for shorts. This thing doesn't look like it wants to continue to the upside at all. Like at all. This one did it too perfectly. Last week, retraced. Boom, yeah, this one would be the one I would play. From here to here, and then wait for a correction up here, and then drop. And then Bitcoin's tricky right now. It ended its week with a pretty nice bearish candle, but there's a good wick. So, you know, honestly, as long as we hold 40K, I'm okay with it. It's coming back into this area where it was hard to break out. So it makes sense. Break, retest, yes, that's okay. As long as we stay above this, we're good. You can see the fib from low to high, or just right above the 61.8. If it goes a little bit lower, it kind of wicks there and ends the day up here, you know, that'd be confirmation. That'd be okay. So on the daily, we're kind of in this little spot where we've been accumulating for a little bit. Like I said, I don't really want it to go, like if it does go further than this area, I want it to end the day back above this area. Like it would be a big wick. We do have some divergence here. So that's good. It's flat. Momentum is starting to pick up. So any type of bullish move here should be good for, you know, I mean, honestly, if this breaks right here, simply if this breaks, this is going to move up. So maybe watch for that. All the other cryptos are probably doing the exact same thing. I mean, same thing, break. This is getting close to the 61.8 as well. Litecoin is in 61.8 territory. XRP is right there by it too. So they're all in the exact same spot, basically. Everything I said about Bitcoin, you could apply it to Litecoin, apply it to Ethereum, and I'm waiting for a move to the upside. But yeah, there's some interesting looking pairs for tomorrow. Got to wait a little bit on them. But where's AU at? This one could be a good one. This is a good one right here. GBPs, and in fact, let me look at some of the other GBPs real quick because oops, I know they all kind of broke out. So GCAD, how does that look? And if it comes all the way up here, I guess I'll put something on it. Where's my break? That's a pretty nice break of structure. UCHF. Oh yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. Straight impulse down. I never trade this pair, but if it gets to 16.8, I want to know. GN. Oh, this one's getting close already. This one's ugly. I'll still look at it. Depends. Yeah, I think all those have potential. Yeah. Everything that move. Might as well put an alert on this. Oh, is that gonna work? No, it is. These are all gonna go off at the same time, probably. So, all right. Let's see. Do you want to look at one more pair? Yeah, I think this one's gonna fall for the swing traders out there. I think this one, I mean, and I'm talking swing trades, this one takes forever. But if we can get up into this, I think it'd be really good. I mean, it's classic bearish fly. So, I mean, really good. If we can get up even higher, that could set up someone's month right here. I'm just waiting on this one. Oh, EJ. EJ is going to fall soon. If you're in buys in EJ, I'd get out soon. There's a lot of divergence. Coming up into a major supply area. I'll check back on EJ like tomorrow, because if this breaks down, I want to look to get into it, take it to the downside a little bit. But once it comes back into here, it's probably good to go to the upside again. Oh, there's a little break of structure right here on Euro CAD possibly. Let's move up. Let me see if I can daily first. Yeah, there's a possibility right here for this to pick up. Real NZD, we don't really trade that one, but it's moving up. So let's see if there's pullbacks. Oh yeah, there's definitely a pullback opportunity coming. Pullback down here. Wouldn't be too bad at all. Let's look at AJ. Well, that played out, didn't it? Damn. Not sure about AJ. UCHF. I'm not sure about that one. Looks like a full flag. So overall, once it gets down here, that's when we look for buys. The NZD starting to move up finally. Pullback spots. Yeah. Right here. Pullback area to look for. Okay, so on AUD CAD, you're going to wait for some bullish type momentum. So really, once this breaks, it should be good to go for that. All right, that's it for me tonight, guys. I appreciate y'all. Have a good one. Peace out.